Hi guys, welcome back to my channel or to my channel. I am Peggy here at Peggy Still Stitching. It's been a little while since I posted, a lot's happened. As you can see from the intro to this video, I did go to my first ever cross stitch retreat. It was here on the Central Coast in Australia. It was for JK's Cross Stitching, that's a shop here. And it was local to me, so I was able to go. It was such a cool experience and I had the best time. I had such a good table with table 11, and I was sat with some really amazing people. One of them, Kristen here, is on YouTube. I will link her down below. She did the coolest quilt. So she had cross-stitched some pieces and turned it into a quilt, and it was so incredible to see all her finishes in one spot like that and in a quilt all together like that. It's just not something that would have ever crossed my mind to do. One, I don't quilt anyway. If you can hear some stepping around, my dog has decided to join us, so I'm not really sure what he thinks he's doing, but he's here. Anyway, sorry. So there were a few people at our table that I was really excited to meet. One of them was Linda. She's on Instagram. I will tag her in a photo on my Instagram so you can check her out. She was stitching on some like 40 count green linen, and you know, throughout the course of the weekend we had a bit of a discussion, and in my last video I'd shared that I hated the way a fabric was ironed. And we were just talking about that at the table, but we worked out that I stitch in hand. And so that is why something like that sort of even came up in my brain, where they all stitch in hoops. And so she's like, I've never noticed that. And once it's in a hoop, it doesn't matter. I haven't stitched in a hoop in probably, at least 4 years. At least I've been stitching in hand now basically for, you know, that's what I do. And I was thinking maybe I need to pull out a hoop and give it a go again. Last time I did use a hoop, it was on 14 count Ada. It was a pattern that, although I love, I don't want to really complete, I didn't enjoy. It was on 14 count Ada, which I don't like. So like there's lots of little components there that, was it that I didn't like stitching in the hoop, or was it the Ada, or was it the pattern, or was it just a mixture of both? So that is something that I do want to try again. I haven't yet, so just a little life update, I guess. The Monday after the retreat, I had a mole taken off my back. So I did have a couple of stitches. And so I sort of didn't post this straight away. I got the results back, everything's fine, don't stress. But it sort of just delayed me doing this video really. Yeah, so I'm gonna get into it. I'm going to show you what I stitched at the retreat. If you saw Lisa from Paddock Lane Designs video, oh well, she's Shady Tree Stitchery here on YouTube, you would know that everything I stitched on the first day, I actually stitched incorrectly, and I do need to pull out. I haven't pulled it out yet because I think it's kind of a funny story that like a lot of people say at these retreats that for cross stitching, generally you don't cross stitch, and I think it's funny that the first day everything that I did cross stitch I needed to take out. So yeah, that was the last thing too, was I met Lisa from Paddock Lane Designs for the first time, and that was really cool. And I will say, like, how I've explained this to other people is that I talk to Lisa a bit. I obviously use her fabric, so I'm regularly on her lives when she is doing like fabric clearances and stuff like that. Like if I'm debating what fabrics I want to use, you know, I do sort of, we communicate, you know. And when I saw her, it was just so cool. And like Lisa's someone that she hugs you like you've known her forever. She's like, it's not like one of those little tiny like she like squeezed me. And it was just really cool, like to be in that situation, to where you actually get to meet these people that are part of, you know, a hobby that takes up such a massive part of our lives. I'll go through what I have been stitching on, and then there is going to be like a big chunk of haul because obviously, you know, I was at a retreat that is owned by a shop. So when in Rome, you know. Anyway, I'm going to jump in because this is 5 minutes now, which is like a massive intro for me. So Saturday, I actually pulled this out. This is the 2019 Christmas tree from, what is it? Fox and Rabbit Designs. It's free on their not Facebook website. And I actually stitched these two here, but I am one stitch off. Everything just here, you can see how this one's got a gap. Everything needs to be one stitch up. So annoying. So I stitched all of these on Saturday. I did all my shopping and stuff on Saturday, which is why I didn't sort of get as much stitching in. I found that probably about an hour before I was meant to go home. So I didn't stay over, you know, the nights. I sort of only really did during the day. So yeah, I found that, and then I put it in cross stitch jail, and I haven't pulled it out because I did want to talk about it because I kind of just think it's funny. Like I'm not even mad. It's annoying, but I'm not mad. So I just need to unpick this and yeah, go again. So I will do that before you see it next. I will unstitch or like unpick that. But yeah, so that is the first thing. And then on a Saturday afternoon, I said to, it was Jane sitting next to me, I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just pick up my, what's that? Oh, got little, I think I've got some snacks in there from there still. Okay, so my Nutcracker Christmas tree from Tiny Modernist. And I just did some bits and pieces in my last sort of hour of the day. I put in his ears. Oh, I forgot to mention that Christmas tree was on a piece of 18 count raspberry, 2 threads over 1, and it's stitched in ecru. This is an 18 count piece of eucalyptus, and same thing, 2 threads over 1. So I finished off some bits down here, did the ears on the rabbit. One, I think this one here was not quite done, so I just filled in some bits and pieces that I'd sort of left. I filled in the flower up here in this bauble, so yeah, I just put a couple of stray stitches in so I felt like I'd done something, so I could take, you know, at least say some of my stitches I did on Saturday were not completely to waste. All right. And then on the Sunday, I did my new start that I started with Adelaide from Adelaide Stitches. I think I always get her YouTube name wrong, and then I use her full name and I feel bad. So I will have a tag down below. She's posted some really cool videos lately. So Adelaide had posted like one video a month, and then she sort of chucked in a couple extra recently. And it's really, you know, it's just cool to see, you know. And I think I sort of like threw her under the bus at the JK's retreat because Lisa was doing like interviewing some people that were at the retreat, and I'd sort of said that I was doing this pattern and this with her. So Adelaide sort of got shanghaied into doing her an interview on Lisa's YouTube channel. So yeah, sorry about that, Adelaide. But it is what it is when you know, put yourself in these situations. So our retreat new start is the Enchanted Quaker by Luminous Fibre Arts. It is really cool. So before I started, I had debated doing this in one strand, just to sort of have like, because it's quite prim and spooky. And then when I did it in one strand, it just didn't show up enough. And I think that's because I picked colors that were quite similar to the fabric, because I wanted to bring that out. So after sort of doing a couple stitches, I showed, like, you know, the girls at my table, and we decided that I did need to do 2 threads. So this is on the piece of 18 count lavender raw. I will open it out a little bit just so you get a better idea. This is a massive piece of fabric as well. It's actually 2 sides of this, so I do need to trim this down. But that's the fabric, and so because it's the raw, it has that brown fleck to it, so I really wanted to like bring that out in my floss choices. So I am stitching this, maybe if I go that way. Okay, so this is also all right. This is also the first time I've ever used a fancy floss. So I am using Weeks Dye Works in Stepping Stone for the darker, like, brown. It is variegated. It's like a purpley brown, but it's super subtle. And then you can see like the slight, like the purple variegation. So that is Violet from Weeks Dye Works as well. And the needles, so I've seen, like, you know, the ball tipped needles, like I've seen people talk about them and love them and whatever, but they're $10 for 2 needles, which I don't know why. I just think that's absurd. And I never sort of like saw the point. Like, it's $5 to get 6 needles if you go like a different brand, like, and just a standard needle. But I did buy these because I was at the retreat and I thought, you know what, whatever, I'm here now. And I started using it and it's so good. Like, I really enjoy it. I tried to, like, I got all excited and told my husband about it, and he doesn't understand, so he just kind of like looked at me like, okay, cool. But I don't know if it'd be the same with linen or if it's like Ada. You'll have to let me know. Comment down below if you use these little ball tipped needles and what you use, like what fabric you use, because I've really enjoyed using those and it seems to go so quick. So at the retreat, I'd stitched this and most of this one. So since the retreat, I've finished that, done the little Spidey, finished that one. And then finished this one as well. So I've done, am I upside down? No, I've done the first sort of 2. So I'd like to work down the side here now so that then I can cut my fabric, because I did measure across the top of the fabric and actually did count it out, so that it is going to fit long ways. So if I just go down, hit the bottom, and then I'd be able to cut it off so that I'm not lugging around like a big piece of fabric. And because this is the raw is quite stiff, which isn't for everyone. Like, you can see, like, that folds, you know, stays in there. It's quite thick. So if that's not something, you know, you like, raw maybe isn't for you, and that's okay. Because it is quite rough and quite, stiff to stitch on. But I don't mind that. I stitch in hand. It's not a big deal for me. So yeah, I love this. I love the way it's looking. I basically took Lisa hostage at the Fancy Floss table and made her help me pick what flosses I wanted to do. We were there for a while. I destroyed Janet's display for a little bit, but I did get there and I'm really happy with how this is looking. So yeah. Okay, the next pattern I've worked on is a new start as well. And I did a lot of work on this sort of by accident. I'm going to show you the pattern because all of this is new. So I've seen, I think it's Laura from Stitching by the Shore is stitching this, and I really like the pattern. So I've been looking at the pattern for a long time, basically since she first showed it. But then I bought this piece of fabric at the retreat. It's funny, I made a joke with Lisa from Paddock Lane that I found the whole time I was there. I only bought 2 pieces of her fabric because everything I sort of had. And she thought it was pretty funny, like the fact that I'd only managed to find a few pieces I didn't already have. Which actually, Now, after I do this video, I am going to put all my fabric away and everything that I purchased away. So I think I might film a fabric collection video because it's now really well organized and I just got some new tubs for it. But side note, sorry. Okay, so that's my pattern. And I don't know how I did this, but I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, I started it really far down from the top for some reason. I don't know if like, I really don't know what I was thinking. So it's actually going to come down to like an inch from the bottom, which isn't ideal, but anyway, I'm not stopping. I counted it out. I know it's going to fit. It just doesn't give me a lot of margin, but I don't care. I'd actually already done quite a bit of work. So I just don't know how I did it, but anyway, these things happen. I've done heaps of work on this. So this is on a piece of 18 count autumn leaves from Paddock Lane Designs. I bought this at the retreat. And then this is also a Weeks Styleworks floss in black coffee. And I don't know if it's showing up as well on the screen as to how it looks. Maybe if I come over here. Like it just looks really cool on this. And it's not black, and it's not that, 3799, like that gray. It's not that. It's like deeper but richer. I don't know. It's just cool. I'm really happy with how that's looking on this fabric. Like really happy. So it will fit. I have no idea what I'll do with it because that margin's like the lowest I've ever given myself. It's such a pretty fabric. That's the back. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with how that's coming along. And that is it for my stitching. I say that's it, but I've got 2 motifs done on one. I've done a massive amount of work for a new project on that. Yeah, and then I obviously had the stitches in my back. So, okay, I did buy a lot of things. I don't really know where to start. Just gonna try and like center myself a little bit and figure out how I'm going to do this. Yeah, see, like I've just got bags everywhere. It's so funny. At the retreat, I was sitting next to Bernie. Her name was Bernie. She was so lovely, but she's like me in the way that we had bags and we were just turned into these crazy bag ladies, and then our bags would mush into each other's bags and we just had like 6 bags on the floor, and they sort of managed to like be like her bag, then my bag, then another one of my bags, then one of her bags. And it's like, it was really cool to be next to someone like her that like she just didn't care, which was awesome. Like I know that in some situations people would move their stuff away or like kind of keep their stuff. I don't know, it was just something I noticed was that me and her were like, we'll figure it out at the end of the day. And we did, like it was fine. Because there were 10 of us at a table and they were round tables. We didn't have a lot of room. I think it would have been amazing to have like 2 less, because even like at our tables, like when we had lunch and like, or if you wanted a cup of tea or, you know, having that on the table and having stuff on the table, like it was just a little bit cramped. Still amazing, but just a little bit cramped. Okay, so I did pick up some fabric, and this will surprise people. So what I have got here to talk about is definitely not me. I was enabled heavily by my table and heavily by the sales. So I'll start with the ones that no one will be surprised about. Okay, whilst I was there, Lisa did actually pop on my table my fabric of the month for this month. And it was like, because I got there a little bit later, it was like just sitting there in this like pink package, and everyone was like, are you gonna open that? Like it was like the thing of the table was everyone was dying to see what my fabric of the month was. So it's actually stunning. I really like it. So September's fabric of the month is called Nebula, and look at it. Oh, it's so cool. I love this bit, like this top purple orange situation. Like in the middle is a bit more like, not subtle, it's quite modeled obviously, but I really like just like this section. This is like my favorite piece of the fabric for some reason. Like I just think it's beautiful. Like look at that. And I hate yellow like on fabric, and this is like orangey pinky like with the purple. I don't know, I really like it. So I might have to like find like, you know, like look at that, it's so beautiful. Sorry, I'm whispering, like yeah, it's so lovely. I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to put on it yet. I have some ideas, but don't I always? So once I sort of get this all put away and things like that and just have a bit of a chance, like, because I've kept this in boxes, in tubs, in the lounge room, bothering my husband now for 3 weeks. 2 weeks? 3 weeks. And he's been asking me like, come on, Peggy, you've got to put it away. Like, we know you cross-stitch, it's great, but like you need to get it done. I'm like, yeah, I just want to film my video, okay? Leave me alone. Yeah, anyway. And then the other piece of Paddock Lane fabric I bought whilst I was there is a piece of blush on the raw. I really like this raw fabric. I just like the way it looks. Like it is like stiff. So like that's not, you know, that's not for everybody. But I just think that patterns look so cool on it. So it's like a really light pink, but then because it's the raw, you've got those like brown flecks to it. I don't know, I just think it's stunning. Yeah, so I bought a piece of that, and Lisa's like, I'm not shocked that you bought another piece of raw. Anyway, okay, then something happened. So because it was like a shop cross stitch retreat, there were like flash sales and stuff as things happened, and Janet, who owns JK's, has these like mystery bags almost, but they're not. So it said like 19 count white, 18 count, blah, blah, blah. And one of these was $25 and the flash sale was half price. So it was $12.50. And I got a piece of 19 count white linen and 18 count green linen. And that was for $12.50. I don't stitch on linen. I never have. I've always been terrified of it. But for $12.50 to get a piece that is 1.5 meters, is amazing. So this is the 28 count in the green. So the green's a nice green. It's nothing, you know, that I couldn't stitch on. That's it folded over. So it's double that. So it's massive. Absolutely no idea what I'm going to put on it. Absolutely no idea if I'll even, you know, ever pull it out. But for $12.50, I thought it was worth a try. Yeah, and then I got the other piece in that pack was 19 count linen, which is really interesting looking because obviously I stitch on 18 count, but because linen's like uneven, it's like, I have no idea what I'll do with this. But I'll give it a go. Maybe if I did like some Christmas ornaments or something small that it wouldn't matter, you know, because linen's like a bit uneven. I don't know. I have no idea. We'll see. But a piece of 19 count, yeah, white linen. I don't need to necessarily pull that out because, I mean, it's just white linen. And in that pack, there was like a bonus piece of fabric, which is like, I don't know, like embroidery fabric. It's like a linen, it's got like a pattern on it. I think it's for like embroidery. I will probably donate that to the craft section at work, or something along those lines, because I know that I have no idea what I do with it, and I don't need to hoard too much stuff. Okay, and then the second bag I got was $20, so down to 10. And it was a piece of 32 count in vintage pink. So this is just, I will open this because this is a really pretty color. Jane, who was next to me, got this, and that's what sort of convinced me to get up and do it, because it's really pretty, and I would stitch on that. I stitch on pieces like that kind of color. You know, I would order this kind of color. I wouldn't order it in linen, in a, you know, but for $10, I am more than happy to try. And then I also got a piece of, it says 25 count, but then it has 29 count. So either 25 or 29 count accru linen, which I don't need to pull out. It's, you know, a crew. Yeah. Okay, so the last piece of fabric I want to show you is really special. This was given to me by Adelaide. She dyed this herself. It's 18 count because she knows me. And she wrote me a little letter, which I'm not going to share here because, you know, she wrote it to me and I don't know how she feels about that, but it was really lovely. I'm really grateful that I got to meet her in person. And I'm so awkward. I like was like, hey, and like awkwardly hugged her. Like, I don't know what kind of level of I don't know. By the end of the weekend, it didn't feel as awkward, but you know, meeting people in person versus talking to them on the internet is a totally different thing. But we decided to call this an Adelaide special, and we named it Fairy Glen. So she hand dyed this. She is not a dyer. I mean, not yet. Maybe she will one day, but she's not, you know, she dyes fabric for herself. And she had dyed this piece and given it to me, and it's so pretty, and I don't know what I'm going to put on it, but I'm going to put something on it. And I'm super grateful. So yeah, she also included a cat, like for thread, and my daughter stole that promptly and painted it purple and covered it in glitter. So I can't show you because glitter will destroy everything and will be here for the rest of my life. And also like some little floss drops. So I think she said her father-in-law has a 3D printer, and then I'm pretty sure I told her to shut up because I was so excited. Sorry about that. And yeah, so she just included a bunch of those. So yeah, that was really cool. Okay, what else is in here? Oh, just a tangle of all my fancy flosses being treated really well there in the bags. And then I just bought one of the little bags. We did get one, but I bought another one because why not? Yeah. Okay, so this was the bag that we actually did get at the retreat. So I'll just show you that. Beautiful. Yeah. Okay, what else did I buy? All right, I bought some storage bags, floss bags, project bags. Yep, there we go. So I bought this one for my daughter, and she has already written and scribbled her name on it quite large. I just thought it was really cute. So this is from Frog and Tink. I bought that one for her, so I'm going to put that straight down over there so she knows I didn't steal it. I'll put it up there so she knows I didn't steal it. Then I bought this one, and I just love this. So I'm a Jurassic Park nerd. Like, I love it. I will randomly hum the theme song, and yeah, I don't know why I'm like this, but I loved this and how it had like the Jurassic Park like dinosaur. Obviously it's not, well, I don't think it's like a branded fabric, but I just think it's so cool. And I put the black pearl in there because I wanted to. There's no rhyme or reason to that. I just thought it looked cool. I did buy a smaller one that was like a pirate skull, and my daughter stole it, and I don't know where it went. It's hers now, apparently. Okay, the next bag that I bought, so these are all Frog and Tink bags, is the Beauty and the Beast one. I've looked at this online for a while, and I just couldn't like bite the bullet. It's really dark. In person, it's not, like, it's fine, but when it's pictured, they're like here, I just feel like it's really dark. So pictured on the website, I felt like it was too, but like it's not. It's just, you know, when you put it all together, it, yeah, it does seem dark, but I love that. I haven't put anything in it yet. I don't know what I will, but I will obviously use it. And then the next one is like a Disney villains, and I just really like it. So it's got Maleficent, Ursula, the Snow White Witch, Sleeping Beauty, Aurora. Who else was there? Oh yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I really like this. Yeah, I haven't put anything in it yet because it's been sitting here in the pile. So yeah, I did get some floss drops. So I just picked up like a couple of different ones. I picked up some Christmas ones. I think that's it out of things that I purchased. Sorry, I'm just like creepily looking around my house to see if I've moved anything else. And then these were the things, these were the hard patterns that we were given from Country Threads, and Fiona, the designer for Country Threads, was there. And I did get a photo with her. My nan really liked her patterns. There are some of her patterns, older patterns in, you know, my piles and piles of stuff that I have inherited. So I'll just go through quickly and show you what we got. So we got this teddy bear one, which I probably won't stitch, so I may do a giveaway with this one. I'm at like 660 subscribers, so I think when I hit 1,000 I might do like a big giveaway, and this will definitely be included. Sorry, my daughter's just decided to come out. Sorry, my daughter just popped out and she's all sorted now. Okay, the next one I got was, which one is it? This pattern, which is really pretty. Yeah, I don't know whether I'd stitch it anytime soon anyway, but it is really cute. So, yep. Then I got the country sampler with like the alphabet and the chicken and the rooster. Same sort of thing. I just don't think that this is for me. So there's a good chance that you may see this in, you know, a giveaway in the future. I did have a chat to like the girls at my table about this, and I'm really terrible at going to the post office. I'm really terrible. Like, I have given away a cross stitch and a fabric, and I still haven't posted it. Like, my life is just ridiculous. I work full time. I have a daughter who's at school. My husband works full time. I've had a lot go on, and realistically that would take me 10 minutes. I've probably been to the post office, but so I don't want to like be someone that has like a weekly giveaway and then never send them, because that's stupid. So I would like to sort of save that kind of thing for special occasions. And yeah, not saying that I will get to 1,000, but you know, if I do, I'd love to, you know, then things like this would be in that. So yeah, this one, however, I totally want to stitch. I love this with the cockatoos. So which one's this? White cockatoos. I love this. There's another one that she does, which is the glass. Sorry, she's just having a chat in the background. Which is the glass. Oh, it's called Major Mitchell's. I'll show you this one. I really want to stitch that one. So I might have to actually go buy that one, but I really want to stitch that one. And there's another one as well. Where is it? No? Maybe it's not on there. Sorry, I just got so distracted for a second there, but yes. So this one I will actually stitch. I don't know what I'll stitch it on. I have a piece of parchment actually, which might look really cool, but this one is one I will definitely stitch. And then this is fishing trawlers and pelicans. I really like both of these. I'd actually like to stitch both. So that's something that will definitely go in the collection to be started, you know, one day. You know, we did get some, sorry, this paper bag. So we did get some bits and pieces. So there was a, so Carol Nielsen, sorry, I'm terrible with that sort of thing. Also did design a bookmark for the retreat. I would like to stitch that. I just don't see me doing it anytime soon. I have so much that I want to stitch, so much I'm really enjoying stitching. I sort of know this isn't super something I want to stitch, but it's also only a bookmark and I'd love to have it. I just, you know, I don't have it in me right now, and that's okay. And then also the cross stitch that was designed for the retreat was to stitch or not to stitch. There is no question. So that's that one. Lisa was stitching this actually at the retreat. So if you want to see some progress on it, I will tag her down below. And then there was one designed like for the pajama party. There was a little koala, which was really cute. There's one here that's like a paw print, which I think is really cool. So there's a Christmas alphabet, and they're just alphabets with like, you know, a love heart or a Christmas tree or whatever in the background. I'd really like to do that, but make the, you know, the love heart a bit more interesting, or the, you know, the Christmas tree a bit more interesting. So we'll see. At work, we were talking about what we're going to do this year for Christmas. They usually do Secret Santa. And I've got a heap of the little, you know, the little hoops. So I would like to do something like that for them, but I don't want to say that I will and then, you know, not. So we'll just see. And then it's hard because like if I do ones and not someone else's, then like I don't want to feel, you know, I don't want to feel like a bad person because I could only do so many. We were sort of given a bag of some bits and pieces. There were some things in here that I was really excited to try and use, sorry. So there's a little art jar, and I just thought that was so cute. It's so tiny. I'd probably fill that up in one sitting, to be honest. But I think it's so cute. And then something else was in here. Oh, there was like a little JK's, like she just put like, you know, a little sticker on a blank book, but just a little, you know, notebook. I really liked the idea of that as well. Yeah, and it's, oh, and then like a little DMC hoop, and it's like got flowers. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Flowers along the outside. So yeah, there's other bits and pieces in there, but you know, I don't want to bore you to death. And I think that was everything. I thought this video would go for longer, to be honest, but I suppose I haven't really stitched that much. Yeah, I had a really, really cool table. I had such a good time. So there was a mother-daughter there. It was Sam and Tabitha was like 24, which was really cool. Like, because I'm not, you know, by any means an older stitcher. I'm 32, but I've stitched for a long time. Not that you'd be able to tell from what I finished because I just start everything and have only finished minimal things. But that was really cool, and to see them sort of talk about it and their different opinions, because, you know, different ages like different things, and I just found that really interesting. She was stitching one of the hibiscuses, one of the hibiscae. She was stitching a hibiscus from Country Threads, and it was funny because like we were talking about how fabrics can like look gross, and she had like a gross brown, but the flower looked so good, and I was like, I love that. And we were just talking about how, you know, fabric colors or things that you wouldn't buy to have around your house can look so cool on cross stitch, and that's just where the creativity comes into it. So that was really cool. So from my side around, then we had Bernie, and she was stitching like a Quaker on linen, and it was like beige/white on a beige piece of fabric with blues, and it just looked so pretty. Like I kind of kept like eyeing what she was doing. It looked lovely. And then on the other side of me was Jane. She was from New Zealand, so she flew over from New Zealand. So that made my mind up. We're all crazy. And she was stitching like a bird from like a sampler company I'd never heard before, and showed me like some bits and pieces. I have to message her to find out where they were from because that was really lovely. And then on the Sunday, she was doing like a red sampler, which was so cool. It was like a massive piece of fabric. Then next to her was a lady named Jill, and she was stitching like this. It was so cool. It was a graveyard for cross stitches. So I had like little tombstones with like half stitch and quarter stitch written on it, and that was really, really cool. The pattern's like long out of print. And someone else asked about it in the thing, and I did post a photo. Like I found it because she was sitting close to me. And it is out of print, but it was just so cool that like that one pattern was like something that, you know, stood out. And then who was next? Kristen. She was stitching the pajama party pattern that was designed for the retreat. And then Linda, and she was stitching on the 40 count. Oh my God, it was stunning. And her project bags. I just want to send my finishes to her and be like, can you make this pretty for me? When really I should just buy a sewing machine and like expand my like crafting horizons. And then next to her was Heather. And Heather was stitching on like a full Lowry frame. Like, it was really cool to see one in person. Because you look at all these like, you know, stitching utensils and seeing them, you know, in the wild, it sort of helps you decide if that's something you want to try or if it's something you think that work for you. For me, I think it's a bit bulky, and our house is like open plan. And then with my daughter and the dog and things like that, like I don't have a spot where I stitch is like on the lounge, in the car, on the lounge here. And all of those places aren't like, they're in open rooms that we use all the time. Like the open plan here where I normally stitch, I stitch under a light where my husband has changed the bulb into a lighter bulb for me. So whilst it looks ridiculous and doesn't make sense, if you were to just come in, like if we were to move out, whoever came in here next would be like, why is that light so bright? And would have no idea that it was actually like that on purpose. But it's in the middle of the walkway. So there's a walkway in front of the lounge and behind the lounge. So I just couldn't have something like that. And then I keep all like my cross stitches at the moment everywhere, but on the bookcase. So like all my project bags are along there, so I can sort of grab something, and whichever room I'm going to, you know, it's pretty central. So yeah. There was another lady at our table, and I feel horrible, but I just cannot remember her name. And it makes me feel horrible. And I've been trying for like 2 weeks, and I've written a list and I just can't remember. I should have messaged Janet. So for the other lady, I'm so sorry I don't remember your name. You were like directly across from me in this 10-person table. And yeah, but we had such a good table. And I will say too, like if you're ever thinking about going to a cross stitch retreat but you're in any way worried, I have anxiety. I get worried. It was the best environment, and everyone is so helpful. And I saw things like, I would never have bought a linen. I would never have bought a linen fabric. There's no way in the world. But sitting at a table like that and in that environment, it was like, I could try. I don't need to go and buy like a specialty hand dyed. Like that, for $20, I got like 4 pieces I can try. I can try it. And they're big, so if I break it, it doesn't matter. Or if I just want to cut it up or I rage throw it, it's not a big investment. But to even buy like a small, of like a hand dyed linen is like $30. And $30 for something that's, you know, not very big, that I could hate. I just didn't want to do it. And like I have a massive collection of 18 count Aida. So I also don't want to fall in love with linen. But if I do, I do. It's fine. Like I don't see me ever not stitching on Aida. I have all my projects are on Aida. So like that's okay. But yeah. It was a really cool day. I met Chloe. Oh, I can't believe I forgot to mention that. Chloe's here on Flosstube as well. So she's an Australian stitcher. She's from South Australia. So that was really cool. She's really lovely. And she was stitching the Unfortunate Souls pattern. I think it's from Black Something Society. I don't know. I've made a mess of that. But I will tag her below and you can check her out. Yep, so I met her. Who else was there? I think that was really it out of the people that were like, I really wanted to meet. And then just some added extras. And it was just such a cool environment. Like, honestly, you sort of find your people in spaces like that. And I cross stitch. I get it. It's not for everybody. I've had to sort of shy away from telling people what I do sometimes because I just don't want to, like, you know, get into it. So being in an environment where it's just so safe, like, to be, and I learned so much, and I got to understand some of the things that bother me as a stitcher are based on how I stitch. It's not like, it was just really interesting. It's such a cool table. Anyway, I feel like I've like really waffled on at this point, so I am going to leave it here and put some of this stuff away in the next 20 minutes before my husband gets home from work. He'll be so excited. And yeah, I do want to do a video as well on my October plans. I'll probably do that sometime over the next, few days. I don't want to be too ambitious because it is school holidays as well, but I do have some things I'd like to start. So I'm going to have a think about that, organize that a little bit. I really needed to just get through this so I could put some of this stuff away and then get some better organization happening. So if you made it this far, I would like you to put a cat emoji, because Heather at my table bought the Marie from the Aristocats project bag and I wanted to steal it. But she had already put like stuff in it and had instantly put it to use. So I couldn't even like slyly steal it and then be like, oh, by the way, I accidentally took this. I owe you blah, blah, blah. Send me your bank account details. Whoops. I really, really wanted that bag. But obviously the people that got there on the Friday and did the Friday night got best first pick of shopping, and I understand that. But Heather, I'm coming for you. I'm kidding. So if you made it this far, a cat emoji, and if you haven't already, please like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for being part of the community, and if you have any questions or comments or I missed anything, chuck it down below and I'll get back to you. All right, guys, thanks. Bye.